Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Planet Coaster the Skye Kingdom. It's October, the month of Halloween, so for the next few episodes I will work on a magical spooky forest. It will be filled with these spooky trees and a lot of these thorns you see over here, and we will build our first flat ride, a wooden shack for the information desk where you can buy the fast passes, a lot of different things. But first I will work on the entrance into this area. I'm so excited about this. This is something completely different from what I've been doing so far. And yeah, it's just going to be tons of fun. It will give me a chance to work with some of the other new things we got for this alpha. And I just love these new trees and bushes that we got. The ones that I will be using fit so well into this area and really sets the mood. Of course, we have these spooky trees, which are so awesome, and it kind of inspired me to do this in the first place. So yeah, a lot of these bushes look a little bit dead, and it really adds to the creepy factor. And we have these dead trees, and I will delete them over here, I believe, because I just felt like it was getting a bit too busy over here, and there's still a lot of things that I wanted to do here. So adding a bunch of these lights into the trees, which make them look pretty creepy. I will probably leave this area pretty dark because that way it looks creepier, and everything in Planet Coaster looks so cool and sweet and nice. So yeah, that really helps. I wish we had some pumpkins. That would be so cool. But there's enough stuff that we can do for this theme we're going for. And yeah, just working a lot on these thorns in this episode. They are really amazing, and you can actually do some really cool things with them. So I will basically make arches out of them and make them go over the path like you're seeing here, and we will be doing a lot of that because it really makes the area to what it will be. And it's gonna be a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but it was actually so much fun to do. And even though we only have two types of these thorn vines, they are actually pretty versatile. You can use this one in all kinds of angles to make it look slightly different. Also, you can just paste another one on top of it like I'm doing here to make it appear a little bit thicker. So yeah, that way you get all kinds of different shapes, and it won't look like it's just one object pasted over and over again, which it is, of course, but yeah, it just looks really great, and you can use it in many different ways. Before I work towards the forest area, I will still have to do a bit of work on the cave entrance. This was somewhat easier to get these thorns down because they stick to the wall. It's called align to surface, and you can toggle that on and off with V, which is pretty handy to know for all of you who bought the Thrill Seeker edition and get to play from today till the 10th. So, oh man, you guys must be so excited. Well, all I want to say is just have fun with this amazing game. It's pretty easy to pick up, but it does take some effort, so don't be discouraged right away if it does take some time. Believe me, it's worth it. It's also a very time-consuming game, but in the best way possible. This is the kind of game you can get lost in, and I often feel like, where did the time go? Hours just fly by. So yeah, just enjoy, guys. I'm pretty sure if you like games like this, the management and building, I really think you're gonna be so happy. I'm still just amazed by how Frontier made this the absolute best theme park game right now, and probably for the next few generations. A lot of people still played Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and it's been like 12 years or something, so it was really time for a major upgrade, and they really did a great job with that. But enough ranting about how great this game is, because you will just figure that out on your own very soon. Finishing up with the foliage now, and then I will add a bit of light in here. When I saw these little blue mushrooms for the first time, I knew right away that I wanted to use it for this. It really helps with the magical feel for the forest. So now adding some of these steam effects to make this even more creepy, and then we will place down the witch's house. And all of this style I'm going for is inspired by how the magic twirl looks and the witch, so that is obviously the first ride I will place down. At this point, I was still very much figuring out how exactly I wanted to do this, and I often overthink things, and if I can't exactly see how I want to do something, that can make you feel a bit stuck. But the best way is just to try it, and most of the time it will fall into place when you're working on it. I was mainly just thinking about the queue line, and I still wanted to make way more of these thorns, so I needed some space between the path and the ride to make those crawl through this area. So that's what I did here, and now all I had to do was connect the exit. So I often go for black path because I feel like the queue line colors don't really match well with the path, so I like to go for black. And then I decided just to change it all because it just looks way better. I still needed a good spot for the witch's house so that you walk by it when you leave the ride, and I think it worked out pretty well when I changed the path like this. And then I had open space over there to put the witch's house, but that is something you will see a little bit later. At this point I totally forgot about the priority passes, but that is something I will fix, and you won't see that in this episode, but it will be fixed for the next one. And in the next episode I will probably also do a real-time part to give an overview of this area. While I work on making more of these thorns for a while and do a lot of decorating, I want to take some time to say something. And don't worry, I will try to keep it as short as I can because this should be about what I'm making, but this is who I am. I want to use my videos to share my experiences and take you on this journey with us as time goes by as a YouTuber, so you better prepare for story time every now and then. First of all, welcome to all the new subscribers. Most of you are here because B000100 gave our channel a shout out, and I want to tell you how that was for us because it's a pretty cool story about how amazing YouTube can be. Since there are so many new subscribers, I also want to tell you a bit about us and what kind of channel this is, because I got some questions about that, as well as if I'm a girl, a guy or a kid, which was so funny to me because it really can be hard to hear if you don't know the face behind the voice, and it was really never that important to me to make that clear. But yes, I'm a girl. Well, I should probably say woman because I'm 29, so definitely not a kid. But don't stop calling me dude now because I always been one of the dudes and I like it like that. Okay, now that that has been cleared up, the short version is I'm Aerithia and Osira is my boyfriend, hence A&O. We've known each other for a little over 9 years and we were best friends for the longest time, and now we're a couple for almost 3 years on the 13th of this month actually, which is also Osira's 25th birthday, so that is pretty cool. Now, I'm not telling you this because our story is so amazing, which it is, by the way, but because we always gamed together and always had an interest in doing more with gaming. So we started our own YouTube channel about 2 months ago, and the timing for me just fell into place when I found out about Planet Coaster. Now, starting out can be pretty tough. You work really hard and maybe 10 people watch the video when you just start out. But I was just so motivated to finally do this, and Planet Coaster was the perfect game for me to actually start making videos. And there was a lot of thought behind it for me because I'm an introvert, so I don't talk this much unless I'm really comfortable or with people who know me very well. But I just wanted to make more out of my hobby, so I just had to get over that and get comfortable, I guess. The channel started to grow very slowly, which was awesome for my time in Pirate Haven because that project was a way for me to figure out if I could do something like this. But now that I'm hooked and learned so much, I was really ready for more views. So right before B-Dubs mentioned us, we had about 86 subscribers, and it was very early in the morning for us. I looked at the channel as I always do before I go to sleep. I saw that we had over 160 subscribers. I was like, am I seeing this right or am I really confused and tired? So then I saw that we were mentioned by B-Dubs and I watched that episode. I was so hyped and Osira was already sleeping. So I sent him a message on his phone so that he would check YouTube right away when he woke up. And I just really wanted to tell him, of course, because this was what we were hoping for the channel to grow. Everything just fell into the right place at the right time, and B-Dubs, you said you watch all my videos pretty religiously, so if you're watching this, thank you so much for doing something like that for a very small channel. That is so cool of you. You gave our channel an amazing boost, which makes it so much more fun to create content, and it makes it easier to get seen by others as well. So probably a small thing for you to do, but huge for us. What really stood out to me was that your subscribers are also positive, and I think it's amazing that you were willing to share a bit of that, so thank you so much. Now, for those of you who were already subbed and didn't come here because of the shout out, you should really check out B000100. I will link the channel in the description, and he's just making a very cool let's play. It just feels like you're hanging out and having a good time. I've seen some amazing buildings, a lot of detail, which I love of course, so you should really check that out if you love Planet Coaster and looking for more content. And I will definitely take some inspiration from that for the other side of the park where I will build a village. I also want to say thank you to all of you guys who are watching, because all the comments I got were so positive, and same for Osira. It's normal to get some dislikes and negative comments, but nothing of that, nothing at all. Well, there was just one, and that was about how I should talk less and play music instead. Sorry buddy, that is not what this series is about at all. But all of it's so very positive, so thank you so much guys. I really appreciate it. And I know Osira does as well. We're still very much in the beginning, but for 3 months in, I think we're in a great position, and I can't wait to see where this all goes next. In the meantime, this is actually pretty cool. If you want to make the grass look a little bit darker, what I did here was use a big brush and paint some of the rock texture on top of it, and it will just look a little bit dirty and not like a perfectly kept up field of grass, but more like a forest. Now all we need is just way more of these cool little lights, and I will place them all over these thorns to really give it that magical feel to it that I'm looking for. And I will show you how I did that over here, but I will skip soon to something else because I will just be doing the same thing for a while on all the thorns near the entrance. There are also pink flower lights, and I'm sure I will find a use for those, because I think I can do something like that for those pink lights as well, somewhere in this forest. Yeah, I'm really happy with the result. It's actually pretty much what I had in mind, and it's always great when it turns out like you had planned, so yeah, very happy about that. So I think this is the last one I will show you, and then we'll skip to where I will highlight some of the scenery, like you can see over here. And you can see that we skipped because all the little lights are already in the thorns. Like I said, I will keep this area mostly dark because that really just adds to the atmosphere, and these little lights are just perfect for this. But most important thing is that you can see the scenery, and it's just like foliage. Placing down lights can do so much for an area, and also these steam effects and everything just comes together, and I think it looks really awesome. Alright, now that that is finished, here I will start building a wooden hut for the information desk, where you can buy the fast passes, or priority passes I should say. That's how it's called in this game. But I think it was about time that we put some facilities in this park, and next episode I will actually be working on a abandoned house with all the other facilities in it. So for now this will just be the only one. I had some issues with this because I really like this wooden texture for this, but the shape for this object is just not good enough to make a custom building out of it. I would have some trouble with the roof, and as you can imagine, I kind of wanted to make it a custom size and not like how the grid works, so I had to make it from scratch, and here I was still kind of figuring out the shape, and for that this object worked pretty well. But in the end I will just make this whole thing out of planks, like you will see in a little bit. I really like this texture though, because it looks like unprocessed wood, and the one I will be using looks a little bit too nice. But all in all, the end result is good enough for me, and that's all that really matters. So this one will be on the workshop with scenery and all, but probably in a few days, because I'm still putting together a new building set for you guys to use. I actually have been working on some furniture, which I will be using in the next episode. So I want to upload that very soon, as well as this building. Probably not the one I will be making in the next episode. I don't think it will be under 1,000 objects, and also it has pretty complicated pathing, and I think it will be just a bother for a lot of people to connect all the facilities to the path. So yeah, I still need some time for that, but of course I will upload a blueprint episode so you guys will know when it's available for downloading. Here I'm starting to build up the wall for the roof. It will be very crooked at first, but I will adjust it in a way that you won't see that anymore. I also adjusted it a bit after I was already done off screen to make it look a little bit more broken. And it was just a little bit, probably not very noticeable, but I can't help myself to do more if I can. You won't see that in this episode, but you will if you would download this building. And we had a little skip here. As you could see, magically the underside was built as well. I thought I just would skip that because it was just a lot of work. Like you can see right now, I didn't measure it out, but I tried to make it as straight as I can. It's still very crooked, but I will fix that now by hiding it behind this wooden plank. So that was not a problem. I will just adjust the lengths of these planks to that height. While I work some more on this, some of you wanted to know the future plans I have for Planet Coaster and if I had plans for other games, and I absolutely do, a lot of ideas actually. Right now I'm just focusing on Planet Coaster, but I do play The Sims as well. Not so much at this time because Planet Coaster is currently taking up all my time, so that will come when I'm looking for a change maybe, I don't know. I'm just so focused right now on Planet Coaster, so I think this park will be done very close to the release date. And after that I actually want to try more of a Let's Play series where I will tackle the management side of this game with speed build parts in it, because I'm still going to want to build things, of course, that is what I like to do. But a challenge with managing the park and mainly the money probably when it comes to building, that will be quite interesting, I think. So that is something I would really like to do. But simulation games are not the only thing I play. I'm thinking about doing Gwent, the standalone game based off The Witcher 3 by CD Projekt Red. I don't know if I want to do that with the upcoming beta or just when it's released, but I absolutely love playing The Witcher 3 and I spent probably way too much time on playing Gwent, so I'm pretty hyped for that. And for those of you who don't know what kind of game that is, it's actually a card game, so that is pretty cool. Ori and the Blind Forest is actually one of my favorite games and it's a platformer. I would like to make a Let's Play for that in the future, and I actually haven't played the new DLC yet as well, so that would be awesome to do. I play a lot of different things and Osira does as well, and we also want to play things together. Fun things like Mario Kart 8, or we actually both really like and we're pretty good at Street Fighter, so that would be cool to do. And Diablo 3 has a new expansion, so that is something we would really like to do as well. We are both crazy about Zelda and that is probably our favorite of all time. So Breath of the Wild is also coming out next year. And yeah, we really like games like Tomb Raider, Last of Us, Uncharted, games like that. So enough things this channel can grow towards. It's very early to say exactly what will happen, so don't hold me too harshly to this quite yet, because for now it's Planet Coaster all the way. But this way, hopefully you have an idea of what kind of gamers we are and what you can expect for this channel. So now it's time for the last bits of scenery and decorations, and then this episode is almost done. At the end I will show you a quick clip of how it is to fly through this area, but next episode I will just show you a real-time part to show you properly what was done. Here I was looking for a fence, and this gate works pretty well if you turn it around like this. I would still like to make a cemetery and maybe a haunted house or something, so I think I will be using this as a fence a lot more. It would be so cool to do a haunted house, but it's gonna depend a little on how much time I will have and how much time it would take to make it. But I'm thinking about it because of the furniture I made. I would love to use that on a bigger scale in a bigger house. So after I finish up with the foliage over here, I will add some other small things, like some rocks like you see here, and some pots, and I think the witch's cauldron, yes. Here we have the farmer's cart, just a bunch of random scenery items, and it really just finishes off this area perfectly. So this was a lot of detailing, which I really like to do, and that is also what I like so much about making a theme park, I think. There are just so many different things you can do. If it's just building a huge structure or playing around with the scenery, terraforming, there's always something that I feel like doing in games like these and never really get bored of it. I'm really looking forward to this weekend with all the live streams to see more of the community creations and what you guys have been making. Alright, this episode is almost finished, so I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know a lot of you just want to see Planet Coaster, but every now and then I will also tell some personal stuff. That's just the way I am, and I won't do that for every episode, of course, so don't worry about that. But after so many new subscribers, I just wanted to tell you guys a bit about us, and as the channel progresses, I just want to share a bit about how it is to have a gaming channel on YouTube. So yeah, there are new blueprints in the making, already working on the next episode, so a lot to look forward to. You will see a real-time part in the next episode, but for now I just want to show you this quick overview of what we have done so far. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.